get the money to do these deals. And then just basically the secrets of having a real investment business. Okay, and then we'll talk about basically real estate investing, in coaching and stuff, and the importance of coaching. All right. So, but also before we get started, I just want to talk about like you know who you are, introduce yourself, why you're here, what are you looking to gain for coming to this class, what are you looking to achieve, and just kind of take a couple of minutes to do that.
Marlene Pardo, Long and Foster in Tyson's, and we just, my husband and me created Condor Investments. It's going to be our company, and we also are part of design and renovation. And we're looking to gain more networking, more investing, more contacts, more knowledge.
Cool.
Flipping, because we used to do flipping in the late 90s. We did over here mainly before I had a license too.
Right. We'll get back in the game.
Yeah, we were in Lanham, Silver Spring, or Upper Marble. Yeah, some areas.
Oh yeah.
Norman Pardo, and I have about 30 years experience in construction. I worked for different companies. I didn't have a license. I got my license in Virginia, but only the Class B. But now that it's necessary for me, next week I'm taking my license for Class A, and then I will take my license for builders.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to get into this business seriously. I built houses from ground up.
Mm-hmm.
I did additions, so with 30 years of experience, I know everything about construction.
Oh yeah.
So I'm really interested to get into this business of buying houses, repairing them, and rehab and sell them. So.
Yeah, because once you get your license and everything, this is what I was saying to you before, is then, with the FHA 203K streamlined program and full-blown program,
Mm-hmm.
You being a realtor, a lot of these agents represent these buyers that require some sort of renovation, and he could participate in that also.
Yeah, Wells Fargo has
Yeah.
that renovation loan.
Because that'll be additional, no, everybody has it.
Yeah.
Everybody has it, and it'll be additional income also, because he could do a project for $30,000 and still have his own rehabs going on.
He does a
Well,
lot of my
I can do that with the license I have in Virginia, up to 120,000.
Okay.
Class A is unlimited
Right.
contracts. I mean, that's the difference. And builders, obviously, if I want to build, I need to have a license in Virginia. I don't know how it is in Maryland or.
Yeah. No, Maryland, you have to build this license too, separate.
Oh, that's a different.
Yeah, from a contractor's license.
Okay.
He used to work for Curtis Homes.
Oh, yeah. I remember Curtis.
Yeah, I worked years ago. I remodeled like 300 units in DC, and so I'm familiar with all
Yeah, I know
that.
you are. All right, Aubrey.
My name's Aubrey Lee. I just signed up Next Stage Realty. The reason I'm in this class is because generally have an interest in investing and flipping houses, and that's sort of where my motivation came from to actually get my license. I did the typical purchase of whatever a late night program was on, course, books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, just a lot of different things. And I decided to actually get my license so I can learn the legalities of purchasing a home, just the basics, and then if I had my license, then I felt like I would have access to any house on the market. So my goal is to be a powerful investor. That's why I'm starting early as possible. And that's pretty much it.
Good. Yeah. Early's good, man.
You watch Flip in Boston on Saturday nights? On HGG or DIY, that's one of the programs you're watching. You watch that, Pete and Dave.
Pete, because I know that my wife watches some of those. There's two brothers. One's an agent and one's a.
Oh, that's Income Brothers. I watch a lot of them.
Yeah.
But get her to watch Flip in Boston on Saturday nights at 10 something.
I like
the
to
ones
watch
that we
boxing on Saturday.
Well, after working.
I like March
after
Madness right
it's
now.
a whole lot.
Got my little whiskey and my cigar, watch boxing. That's what I like to do.
Yeah.
All right, well, good. Welcome. So, well, my name is Sid Hameed. Most of you guys know me, but I'm from Pakistan. So I came to this country in 1976. I was 7 years old, and I lived in Arlington. We consider that as the melting pot. That's where you had Laos, Cambodia, Chinese, Africans. You have everybody was thrown in that area in the 70s when when the World War ended and stuff like that. So there was a lot of diversification. So I grew up with just hard work and working with what I had. And so, but just been focused and consistent, and I've been on this particular trail of real estate for many years, over 25 years now. Started with construction, but I always liked the idea of taking something and turning into something better, and just seeing the outcome of where somebody walks in, they're like, wow, this is nice, and that's like a feeling that if you did it with your hands and you did it with your mind and your vision, it's something you can't explain. It's just a feeling that you have. So I always enjoyed doing that, and so, but then over the years, I got my license now on the brokerage. I bought Next Stage First Realty 2 years ago, and then so I've just taken the construction part and the Next Stage part and kind of brought it together as a one-stop shop. So we have our investment, we do our construction, and then we have the agents that sometimes find deals, and then we might be able to buy those as well. So right now we have about 20 agents in the office. So the 2 deals that I got were some of the deals that they were working on. I looked at it, made sense, and I was like, hey, Brickfront Properties will buy these. So that we end up bought those deals. So what we're going to talk about today is basically how to get in, how to find the deals, where are the deals, what do you got to do to get to the deals, and then once you do get a deal, how to lock it up, how to secure the deal while you're doing your due diligence and you're dealing with the funding, and you're trying to get the appraisal done and all that stuff. So if it doesn't work out, there's got to be a way to get out of the deal, right? So you got to have exits and stuff like that. And you're an agent, I'm an agent. So, but we got to be careful what we say. But it's all about disclosures. It's all about disclosures. So long as you're disclosure, hey, I'm an agent, mine is property, and the proper documents are there. I think National Association of Realtors, that's all they're looking for, your broker, that's what they're looking for, is to make sure you cover your butt.
You buy this Brickfront Properties LLC though?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I disclose that I'm an affiliation of, so long as you do that affiliation part, then you should be good. And then we're going to talk about basically, how to get the money, and then how to get your contractors, how to get your plumbers, how to basically set this up as a project. Like first week is going to be demolition. You got to get your dumpsters. You got to get your HVAC guys, your plumbers, your trades, your framers. All this stuff is a process. It's like a machine almost. But if you do everything ahead of time and be proactive about it, you can save a lot of time. And in construction, time is money. Because a lot of guys standing around for 6 hours, that's costing you money. They got to be producing nonstop. So that's where a lot of companies lose money because they don't have a plan. And so when you start a project, you got to have a plan. You got to be systematic about it. And you got to, every day counts with construction. Because one, if you're doing the hard money, you're getting charged at least $110 a day just from the interest alone. And then two, if your drywall doesn't come in time, or your windows don't come in time, then your guys are there, that's costing you money. So everything's about planning, everything's about, having the right team, because you can't do it by yourself, in place to be able to run this thing like a real business. And we'll get into those things also. Then we'll talk about the local market, like right now, where we are in 2013 of March, and where the deals are right now. We'll talk about inventory, we'll talk about supply, we'll talk about where the investors are looking, we'll talk about where the rental, cash on cash return are, where the buy and flips are. So we'll cover that also. And then we're just talking about the basic systems, like the systems that you need to run this business. So being an agent, having access to the MRIS, that's a tool. And if you utilize the MRIS tool properly, it'll help your systems, right? So having access to RRP or the other one was RBI reports. Those are all tools. But if you use these tools properly, then you're able to project the supply and demand. You're able to project where things are moving, where things are not moving, and you always want to go to an area that's going up rather than going down. So if you utilize these data tools, it allows you to put your money in the right area to get a return. So it's all about knowledge, it's all about having information, and it's all about using that information and knowledge to get gains on your investments. So I've lost money over time, but I've made money too. So with real estate, the thing about that, man, is you can make 100,000, but you could also make 10,000, or you can make negative 10,000. So it goes back to systems, it goes back to processes, it goes back to having the right people, it goes back to being knowledgeable about your demographics, about what's going on in the market. You know, if there's a metro station or there's a new shopping mall coming, there's a new casino coming, right? Because without jobs, real estate doesn't move, bottom line. If there's no jobs, real estate is just staying still. And we saw that in the last 5 or 6 years, the market coming down. But in our particular area, because we have the government, we have the lobbyists, the Congress, we got the lawyers. You know, our employment had, I think, only dipped down to 7.6 when everybody else was 13, 14, 15%. So, but now we're back up to almost like 6.2 in our area, which is good. And normal economic trends are 4%. That's a healthy market, okay? And then if you look at the supply and demand of homes, in the last 24 months, PG County got hit extremely hard, and then Prince William County was a county that also got hit hard in Manassas when they changed the laws and everybody moved around. So, but you have to know these trends, you got to know these numbers in order to know where to put your money, right? So then I look at all these things and then I analyze, okay, what's happening in 2013? What's happening in 2014? What's going to be happening in 2015? So right now, PG County has the casino coming at the National Harbor, but they also have the Tanger Mall, the outlets coming. So that's a $70 million project.
Where is it?
At the National Harbor.
That area?
Yeah. So that whole area is totally changing. So now the ferries going back and forth to Alexandria has really picked up. So that started in 2010. And if you look at the economic trends from where they were to this, I mean, income has gone up on the ferries. So more people are going out Friday night, Saturday night. You know, they get on their ferry, taking a ride. It's a nice commute. Alexandria's winning because they get income. PG's winning because they get income. So all these things, what they do is they create jobs. And when people have money, they got jobs, they buy. They want to stop renting. And people get smart, like, well, why should I pay $16 rent when I could buy a house at 4% interest rate for 30 years fixed at $1,200? So there's a lot of shift that's taking place in the market. So in 2010-11, we had a 24-month inventory. There was a lot of houses out there. Then the houses have shrunk. So I think we're down in this particular area. Like in Arlington, Alexandria area, it's like 4%, 3%.
We don't have inventory. We have more buyers than inventory.
Right. And PG County has reduced down to almost 4%. So then if you think outside the Beltway area, so if you look at the whole 495, you got Springfield, you got Falls Church, you got, you know, Tacoma Park, you got all these areas. Then you go a little bit further out to like inside the Beltway. Then you have Glen Burnie, you have Columbia, where there's Anne Arundel County picked up that new casino.
Yeah.
There's a casino opened up down
They
there.
have a mall there too, don't they?
They have a huge mall down there. And then if you look at, that's part of the Howard County area and the Arundel area, that county's been going up nonstop. Okay, then you look at the future projected construction. I mean, where's Clark Construction putting money? Right, where's Miller and Long putting money? You know, what is the airports doing? So you look at these large, massive projections, and things that happened in 2014 in this area, 2015. So it's all about planting the seeds is what we were talking about. How do you plant the seeds so therefore what you do today is going to pay off 5, 6 months from now, 7, 8 months from now, right? So it's about knowledge, it's about looking at the trends, and reading your local papers. If you really read the local papers properly, not just read it just to read it, but if you really look at this stuff, there's a lot of information in there. They talk about the partners who's doing the construction jobs. They talk about the attorneys that are involved. They talk about the real estate companies that are involved. So the thing is, if you can't beat them, you might as well try to join them. Try to talk to them about some, say, hey, how can I get in? How can I, this is my experience, this is my knowledge, this is my expertise, this is what I can offer the team. How can I get in? Try to position yourself. And the more persistent you are, then you know, the better chance of you getting in. And it's about knowing where things are and knowing the trends and the data and stuff. So one of the areas that, in terms of what we're doing, what we do on a regular basis, our job right now, we're looking to basically buy 2 to 3 homes a month. So we just got one yesterday. We're going to set them in next Tuesday, and then we have another one, God willing, we'll probably get at the end of the month. Okay, but this takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of data. It takes a lot of information. So I can't do it all. They can't do it all, right? So we have a dedicated person, and that person's job is to find deals, right? How do you find deals? You find deals not just, you know, through the MRS, but you find deals through networking, to build a relationship. So we know in the MRS there's thousands of agents in there. Well, why not call them? Be like, hey, I'm looking for a deal. If you ever come across a listing, before you list it, it's a pocket listing, let me know about it. I have buyers that are looking to buy. So if you call 20, 30, 40, 50 agents, there's a possibility a deal's gonna come out of there, right? So that's a huge source. How do real estate agents get paid? By moving the deal. So the sooner they move the deal, and if you got a qualified buyer, hey, they be like, Aubrey, I got a deal I'm working on now. You know, what's your guy qualified for? 250, 280? Mm-hmm. And that deal happened before we hit the market, right? Go to the law firms. So right now they have foreclosure law firms and they have bankruptcy law firms. Okay, so the foreclosure law firms that specialize in, you know, where the homes are going under. They're very close. They're like at the end of setting a foreclosure date, right? So it's already been 6 months, it's already been 8 months, it's already been 18 months. The people have not paid on the mortgage at all. So the bank's been trying to get to them, the lender's been trying to refinance, all these different things, but they just haven't complied or responded. So then the foreclosure date's coming. So as the foreclosure date approaches, foreclosure attorneys knows, you know, they monitor the state cases, they monitor these case numbers. Say, hey, look, we're investors. We have an investment team, we have this much cash, and this is how fast we can respond. If you have any assets that you want to get rid of, that you're looking to move, give us an opportunity. It's all about calling, talking to people, networking, engaging, letting as many people know that this is what you do, this is who you are, this is what you specialize in. And you know, so and then also the bankruptcy attorneys. What those is, people have to go through a divorce, people's businesses go up, down, whatever, but you could get short-term listings. And out of the short-term listings, you could possibly get some deals, right? So the attorneys cannot list the properties, but what they can do is they could recommend an agent to the client, say, hey, here's a guy that we worked with the last 5 or 6 deals, give him a call.
So who do you have?
Well, we have different attorneys that we market to and send out letters to and try to introduce ourselves to hey, you know, we're a brokerage, we're contractors, we're investors, this is, we're local, this is what we do, and do you have anything that we could work on? Or can you schedule time to talk? And you ask for an appointment.
I remember you said like Alex Cooper and then,
Well, those are
foreclosure.
yeah, those are auctioneer houses.
Yeah, right.
Those like Alex Cooper's an auctioneer house.
And the other building?
A.G. Billings is an auctioneer house. Then they have the other
Sam
one.
White is Virginia.
Yeah, and then there's one called, I don't know if they're still around, it's TAZAN, Texan Auctions. they started
Transon,
Transon.
yeah.
They're still around?
Yeah, still around.
So those guys, like I had started going to their auctions. They were primarily in Virginia for a long time, and but they don't do stuff in
They're more United States, I mean, they're all around different.
yeah. I don't see too much stuff in Maryland though. I see Alex
There's not
Cooper
a
a
whole
lot.
lot in each one. They're more, yeah, rural or commercial inside here.
Yeah. So those are auction houses. Now that auction houses, you could see the dates and the times and the location and the bid requirement, how much money you got to bring.
Right.
You can see all of that on their websites. So, you know, but it's like having one person focused on the attorneys, having another person focused on scanning the MRIS, then you have another person focused. It's all about having focus. So you can't just do one thing to find deals, but you got to do like 7, 8 things to try to find deals. Because you got to look at it like this. You know, when the market was coming down, there was a lot of people, the night was falling, a lot of people sat on the sidelines because people's 401ks were going down, their IRA accounts were going down, they were losing money in the stock market. You know, there's more 65, 70-year-old people working today than they were working in the 90s. You know, so, and then this is the first time in the last 3 years people actually moved out of Florida to come back to work because there's no jobs in Florida. Right? Everybody wants to go to Florida to retire, but people are now moving because people are working now. So the thing is, you know, all this stuff is important because it's you know, nobody wants to be at that point. So we got to kind of learn like what happened and how we can apply it to our life and how can we position ourselves by learning from this whole crisis and position our business. You know, so I do a lot of reading. I saw Warren Buffett. He bought that Prudential, and there's a reason why he bought them, and you're gonna start seeing their signs in June, July of this year. You're gonna start seeing their signs out. You know? So, all right. Now, so we have people in the virtual assistants on the old desk, and one girl just does nothing but MRI stuff. So what we did is we used Camtasia, which is a software application which captures your screen. So what you do is you put on a headphone, and so let's say I'm training Aubrey on how to utilize the MRIS system, and I want him to do research for me. So I can say, hey Aubrey, you know, this is what you do. You look at the number of days, you look at, you know, how many times they lowered the price, you look at the neighborhood, you look at this, you look at the tax assessments, you look at you know, the neighborhood comps, and I want you to do all this data, put it all together, and I want you to go here and do this. So this is all being recorded. So he has the videotape. So then I said, then I want you to put this Excel spreadsheet together, here's all the Virginia properties, here's all the DC properties, here's all the ones from Maryland, Howard County, Silver Spring. So you have a spreadsheet. So you put all the properties in there, like these are short sales, these are REOs, these are, you know, what's going on, these are the ones we made contracts on, these are the ones we haven't. So the virtual assistant could do this stuff, as long as you create a proper tool, a proper system for them to work with them. So we use Camtasia, and that allows us to do a screen capture, and we can make a videotape and have that videotape very focused and clear about how we want him to use that MRIS tool. And then the same thing, have a separate type of video on how to use the tool, the RBI, or have a separate process on how you want the VA to contact the bankruptcy attorneys, or the foreclosure attorneys, or the probate attorneys. And so you could do all this training by these video systems, by recording even a 10-minute video. A 10-minute video, I want you to go on this website, look up Maryland foreclosure attorneys, then I want you to find their address, I want you to create a label, I want you to take this letter. They could do all this stuff and get it to the point where you come in and all you're doing is you're taking it to the next level. Right? You take it, so it's all about time value of money. You know, it's all about time value of money. It's going to cost you money to do these things and put these systems in place, but one deal will cover all that cost. one deal will, so you always gotta think about the bigger picture. Why am I doing this? Why am I paying this guy $1,000 a month? Why am I paying her $500 a month? What's the bigger goal? So it goes back down to, you as being your own CEO, your own business owner. What do you want this person to do? And why do you want this person to do this? And what is the outcome that you want to see from this action, right? So then once you're able to do that, then you could outsource it and then monitor it for 30 days and see if it's working. And then go back and tweak it if something's not working. Because it's going to be at least 2 months for them to at least get it right. Because it's going to be training costs, right? So with anything that you start or anything that you do, it's going to cost you money first to put the systems in place, get the people. So you may not make money for the first 2-3 months, but as the pipeline builds, as the pipeline builds, so if he's doing what he's supposed to do every single day, then the first week he may have 2 deals. The second week he may have 3 more deals. But at the end of the month, there might be 10 deals in the pipeline, which are going to carry forward to May. And then he's doing the same thing. There might be another 5 deals, which will carry into June. And then in about 90 days, you may have 10, 15 deals in the pipeline that you're working. So like the deals that I was able to go to settlement on, these have been in the pipeline since almost like October, September of last year. But it's a process. You got to keep pushing it forward until some gives.
What is it, Mayor? How many days can you get the property in? Maybe it's just foreclosures too. Because I heard you all, Suzanne, talking about Baltimore, the last one. It was 8 months to get into the property? Is it after foreclosures or what? The
No.
owner can come back, they have a grace period or something in Maryland?
Well, in Maryland, first of all, I don't do anything by myself. I always get an attorney. So I use the title company to do all the title, the clears, all that stuff. So until the title company says there's green light, then we move forward. So like the deal we just got, we found out like 2 weeks ago, there were like 4 outstanding liens. And so everything just stopped until the liens got handled, until we got some sort of resolution on the liens before we could move forward.
But do the owners have a grace period to come try to get their property back here?
Well, once it's foreclosed and the bank has sold it off, then no.
No.
Yeah.
Because I heard something about Maryland, so I thought, okay.
Now, with Baltimore, I've been looking at Baltimore County.
Is it that boom?
It's doing very well.
Up by John Hopkins?
Exactly. We did a class 3 weeks ago on the state of the market, and we talked about Baltimore being the number 4 in the country right now. Baltimore, and that's because of John Hopkins, but also because of the bioparks. There are 10 scheduled bioparks scheduled for Baltimore. There's only 4 built out, and an average medium income of a person in that job is going to be close to $38,000. So that means your average person is going to make $38,000 for every job they create, and then go up to 50 to 60, 80,000. As you're a physician and a doctor, things like that. So when income comes in, people want more, better homes. They want granite, they want stainless steel, they want security, they want protection. So there's a lot of stuff going on in Baltimore, but John Hopkins is also buying up a lot of stuff. So anything around their facilities, they're like buying up. So they've actually bought up a lot of stuff in Baltimore. So what investors are doing now is they're going outside the circle of where they're buying, and they're positioning themselves.
But you got ground rent too up there. So
Yeah, there is ground rent. Yeah. But the cash flow is there. Yeah, because these students are going to come in. Well, I read this magazine called the Baltimore Magazine, and I subscribe to it, and I get that magazine because it talks about all those medical trends that are taking place. Baltimore right now is already doing heart surgeries with those electronic robot arms, and there's only 2 other places that's doing this, and Baltimore is one of them. And they're also doing a lot of this cosmetic surgery, so Baltimore is becoming number 1 in terms of a surgical. So a lot of like right now there's companies in Shady Grove and Rockford, they're actually moving into Baltimore, into the whole John Hopkins area to take part of this whole biopark. And so that's one of the reasons why you got so many more hotels down there. And then, plus now they got the Super Bowl. football team.
Yeah.
And then they got a casino coming in Baltimore right by the stadium.
Yeah.
You saw this thing?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of activity happening in Baltimore. But you still gotta be careful because Baltimore's, you're driving down a perfect neighborhood, you turn left and boom.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to be cautious about